It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme tonight. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for his start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out at Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They'll run here with a rookie. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Right back to Tracy. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still first down.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Now Wilson. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So 8 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds. Toe tapping and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. To throw again is Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Here's Wilson. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Two yards still to go. Third down now. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Needed 13, and with a good spot, they got 13 and a first down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Mahomes now to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line.
Now the red challenge flag makes an appearance as Andy Reid wants a second opinion. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So an early challenge, and you know that those coaches hate to use those red flags too early, but this one turns out to be successful. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. On the give, it's Tracy. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Second and a couple. Throwing is Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Open man downfield is Johnson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. They'll hand it to Tracy. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants are once again back in front.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Mahomes going to throw. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight-line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And it's straight, it's Pacheco. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 33 yards. And the Chiefs have moved out in front.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Giants offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. From the 29, here's second down and 7. They'll go again with Tracy. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Once again, he finds Slayton. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that one to the right side and incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Gano's kick is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 52 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Second and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Got a man, it's Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That is caught. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now here's Mahomes. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got it. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy from 3 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Butker on for the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. From midfield now, here's Wilson.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
To throw is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now. 1st and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Throwing is Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a fourth down.
Gano's kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now Mahomes. And this will be caught by Brown. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Mahomes going to throw.
With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey.
And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We got a strong first half out of the running back, Isaiah Pacheco. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Again, it's Johnson.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. From the 46, here's second down and a yard.
To throw again is Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Trying to connect there with Wan'Dale Robinson.
And it's 3rd and short. Here's Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
And he will have a Giants first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing, and he does exactly that, picks up the first down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner, where we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer, picks it up for the first down.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Here's Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Here's Tracy.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
On the ground, here comes Tracy.
And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's about it. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
3rd down and 10.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has, and that offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 3.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now here's Mahomes. Got a man. It's Brown. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now.
Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Got a man over the middle, Worthy.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Mahomes now to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Well, 2 touchdowns scored. I know his team's happy. His coaches are happy. How about the fantasy owners of this game?
Always happy with 2, but they'd like 3 or 4. Butker now to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that drive 7 plays in length. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
On the run is Tracy.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is brought in at the 21. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
The Chiefs offense and their running back Isaiah Pacheco getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Giants are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy on a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 17 yards and a giant first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Now it's Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that'll move them back within 6 now.
Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. From the 35 on 2nd down, Mahomes. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
He'll get this complete to Worthy.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw here.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Mike Pennell able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. Returnable here from the 38. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Now Mahomes.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
In motion, the tight end Kelsey. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Mahomes going to throw.
Gets this into the hands of Gray, the tight end.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll bring up second down. In motion, the tight end.
On the handoff, it's Pacheco.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Chiefs on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a two-score game. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will make this a 9-point lead.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third down, here's Tracy.
Shifts by him, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Now they'll throw it with Wilson.
He's got Slayton on the slant.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Throwing is Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Wilson. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. That is caught. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
From the shotgun, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Tracy. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw, Mahomes. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 2. Just over 1:40 to play. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. Wilson to throw.
He's got Johnson.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Throwing now is Wilson.
Connecting with Johnson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. That one taken in by Neighbors. Here's 2nd down.
Here's Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3.
Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And that is no good. And they'll remain down by 2.
Yeah, Brandon, that's a tough distance with the game on the line because you'd like to give your kicker better odds than that. Anything 50-plus, we know it's going to be difficult. And that one proved to be just a little too difficult. And now it appears it's going to cost them the football game.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.